Hi there, I'm Lisa. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you are well. I am finishing off a mini book. I made this back in March before we went on our US road trip, and I haven't actually finished it. I wanted to add some bits and pieces to it, but I actually made this before I started up my YouTube channel, and I was really happy with it. It was really quick and easy to make, and I thought it would be a good one to include on this channel, as like I said, it was fun and easy to make, and I wanted to show you how I made it. So I wanted to finish it and add some more pages to it. I managed to get hold of one of the 12 by 12 acetate pieces here, which is what I used to make it, so I thought it would be a great chance to show you how I pieced it together. This is American Crafts. It's from the Amy Tangerine Finders Keepers range, and if I take it out, I've literally got to cut it up into pieces. I do have a full blog post here, as when I originally made it. Sorry, that's really noisy, isn't it? I did a blog post for Cocoa Daisy about it, so I will link you up to that so you can see the step-by-step procedure there as well. I'm going to take my trimmer. It's just a regular A4 trimmer, and I am going to cut this down each strip. There are a square on each one, and there's a gap down the side in the middle. So I'm just trimming those up now, and there we go, and down the center, and then I'm cutting them again in the middle there, which will give me 2 squares on each one, as you can see. So 2 there, like that. And that gives me my pages then for me to carry on creating. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them, but I've got them cut and ready, so I can if I want to. I did use them all for the original mini book, so I'll just see how I go. So I've got all of them here. They're transparent, so I'm now going to be cutting card and embellishments to attach to the back. One of the things I really enjoy about making mini books are using up bits and pieces, all the scraps. Let's push this to one side. I've got several of my Cocoa Daisy kits. It's a monthly scrapbooking kit that I designed for, and I went through this morning whilst having a coffee and just took out some various odd bits and pieces, scraps left over from the past few months. As you can see, there's journal cards, there's bits of paper, die cuts, we've got sticker sheets. These are just left over from my monthly kit that I've had in the 12 by 12 bag, and just been sat there. Some alphabets, stickers, there's all various things here and I pulled them out thinking that these will work really well. The main thing behind a lot of this is also are the journal cards, which I get from the Day in the Life kit. It's an add-on kit that you can buy with the main kit each month, and these are going to be one of the main parts of the mini book, which I will show you now how I put together. I've just spent a couple of minutes separating everything so I can see what I've got. I've got a pile of journal cards here. I've also got some die cuts and embellishments and bits and pieces like that. I've got various stickers and alphabets, and I've also got scrap paper. And the most important part, I've got my staple gun. I've taken out the regular colour staples and replaced them with green staples. Obviously you can use any colour, I chose green, and I find this is a really fun way to just add a different kind of look on a scrapbook page. Let's move those old ones out the way, and I'm going to start working on the acetate pages now. So to do this, I basically had a look at what I've got here. I don't particularly want that one. Let's have this one, Documented and Loving This. And then what I did with the other pages, I went through the cards, just seeing what I've got and working out what best goes with what. I know somewhere there is a heart, so this one here, this would go really well. So I would like to keep that on there. I'm not going to trim it down. It can work on both, and there's hardly any glue at all used on this project. It's mostly just the odd staple here and there, and that's all I'm going to do. And then I can either journal on it afterwards with a Sharpie or stick a photograph on. Obviously I've got this little bit left at the top, and let's have a look. I kind of want something, this could go well, so happy together. Might say that we've got documented, that could go there. Actually I quite like that idea, and then I could add some other card like that. So you can now see how the page came together. That is going to go on there. Actually, I tell you what would look nice, there's yellow on there, so maybe if I have a yellow background, got a little bit there and a little bit of yellow up there maybe, I don't know, let's stick that on there. Obviously also being aware of what's on the back as well. I like that. And we have got stars, that could possibly work, I don't know, too much yellow perhaps. I've got this little strip here, quite like that. Would we go with the plain grey? Here's a little bit more yellow actually. I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to grab my scissors, cut this to size, using the acetate there as like a ruler, as a guide to where I cut it. That will now go on there. I'm going to use a tab on the top. So that's one page done. Go to the back. That's obviously not very pretty at the moment. And what I will do, as you can see, I've decorated the other side. I will then add that. That could look quite good, although the take note, obviously you can't see the orange very well, so that's not, yellow definitely won't show up. We need a darker one along the bottom. I've got a green one here. That could go well. It's a shame because the blue would have worked better. The other thing I could do is put a strip along the back there to help the good stuff stand out. See what I mean? Suddenly that works really well, and I could do the same there. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. So I think the best thing to do will be to attach a couple of these. Let's do them over the staples, and then I'm going to slide that in there. That really does make a difference now. A couple of staples there, and then that will then work across the middle bit there. Perfect. I'm not going to finish off the pages completely at that stage. I'm just going to leave that. I'm happy with that right now. Pop that to one side, work on my next one, and then I'm going to start with the embellishments. So I'll go grab it back over it. I'm going to take this one now. I quite like that. So a sweet life indeed. That works really well. Again, let's take the stapler and pop those on, and what will work on the top there. I do quite like that as it is, so that's not wide enough. I just want to pop something. No, not keen on that, not keen on that. It's all trial and error. The family's too big, that would need to go down the side, although I have got that one. Should we have a top 10 in the family? I think I might struggle with that one actually. Let's not do that. Could cause some family arguments, couldn't it? That goes quite well actually, doesn't it? Yep. Let's pop that there, and that there, and then trim the top. and then that can be used for another one. So let's turn that over. Oh, I like that. That was a nice unexpected back. Could do that. That works quite well. Not as keen on that. I think I'm going to go with this one. We'll have a love this and a noted. That works well, I think. And let's just staple that in place. See how quick and easy this is. I've continued putting all the pages together, adding the various journal cards and bits of extra paper together, as you can see. And I'm now adding the tabs to the top of each page. I've got them here. I just think it's a nice way to finish off the page. So I'm putting them back to back on the page like that, and then just adding one staple through the center. And I've got another couple to do here, so I'll add that there. Pink goes well on that page. And let's add a green on the other. So again, back to back, and then one staple through the middle, one more, add pink on that one and a grey on that one, and one centre, one staple through the middle again. I've got a few various bits and pieces that I want to attach. I saw the family one here. I thought I would add that. I quite like that idea together again today. That's quite appropriate for when I saw my dad on my road trip, because I hadn't seen him for a while. So that will go there. I've got a few other bits and pieces that I thought would be quite fun to add. Something funny always happens. Could add that one there. Actually, I think this one will be appropriate. I'm going to stick that one rather than staple that. And that's just generally how the pages are built, by just going through and adding bits and pieces. I've got an aeroplane here. That one would be quite cool. Where shall I add that one? Oops. Yeah, I think along the bottom there. And then I can put the date. So I'm just going to go through now and finish adding various embellishments and bits and pieces, and I'll show you when it's done. I'm now at the stage of adding my photographs. I've done the tab tops, and I'm going to work out what order I want the pages in. I'm printing off the photographs currently to suit each page, so they're the correct size. I've got this little trimmer here, and I'm going to trim off the photographs with a nice white border like that. And I am going to be sticking these down with some double-sided sticky tape. That's cut a little bit rough there, that's better. So I've got this one here, photo of us on the plane. I am not going to stick anything on the front there, but I will actually add, my husband's just given me this Sharpie. I'm going to add the date that we travelled. Of March. No need to add the year, as that's already on there, and although this is acetate, as you can see, that's written really well on there. I was a little bit worried to start with because I made the book before we went, but I'd hoped that the Sharpie would work well on there, so that's worked out well. Just be careful not to smudge that now. And I'm going to add my first photograph. I am going to put that on there. Let's trim down the white very slightly, although I've got the wording there these days. To be honest, that doesn't really have anything to do with the photograph, so I've decided not to include that, and instead I'm going to stick that on there. Let's tidy this up a little bit so you can see better. Let's stick that on there, and that way the yellow acts as a border, which I really like. Let's add a little bit of double-sided sticky tape, and I will stick my photo in the middle there, and that's us. So I am going to add, I've got this set of stickers from Chamel here, and I'm going to add a U and an S and add us on there. And as the book goes on, I will just keep adding bits and pieces until I'm happy. Kind of feel we should add the word fly somewhere. Not sure yet, so I can then journal here. It was a good travel day. Everything went very easily. Okay, so that's that. Now I will go on to my next photograph. This one is a very small one, to the point that I can't even see it on my desk here. I know I brought it over. Ah, here it is. So I've got this one, this page here, it says love this, and I've added, that was 2 pieces of paper there, if you can see. I had that tiny little bit there with this photo cut off from another piece, so I've added the yellow behind. Can't really see that too well there. The yellow is in 2 strips, and then we've got the love this acetate. So I've just printed off a really small photograph. Most of the photographs I'm using are about 2.5 inches by 2.5, so they are quite diddy. And then this one is even smaller. This one's just under 2 inches, and I am going to add this one here because this was the area where we stayed in New York, and I'm going to pop that one there. Love this photo, and then I'm going to make a note about how we love the location. So noted, we stayed in the perfect NYC location. There we go. So nothing too fancy. And I might actually add an arrow or a heart, something like that. I feel that's necessary. Let's clear this away. Oh, I've got a paper clip here. That could work really well. Let's see if I can attach that to the photograph. I think that would look really good actually. Oh, it's piddly. There we go. I don't know, it sticks actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to, I need to do something to stick that down, but I like that. I wonder if the tape will work. Let's add some double-sided sticky to the back of the paper clip. I'm not sure if this is going to work out. It's a bit trial and error. It might just hold it in place, but then again it might not. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's worked. Let's take the excess out from there. I'm going to grab, let's see, this pencil might work. And just try and clear in the middle there. Yeah, and the extra sticky can be taken away because that looks a bit ugly otherwise. All that extra sticky tape doesn't look so pretty. I'll see to that properly in a minute, but the paper clip has held in place, so I'm happy about that. Then as we turn over, I have a photo just printing for the next page, and I'm just going to go on, add the photographs, and I'll show you in a moment how far I've got. I've been slowly adding all the photographs. I've done pretty much all of them now. I just wanted to show you a couple of things. Firstly, adding the holes. I use my Big Bite, this hole punch here. Now, to make sure that I get them all in the same place, I put them together to do that. I'm just figuring out which one I want as my last one. I'm going to use that as my final one. So that can go there, and I'm going to pop that there. So I've lined them up, and I'm using the original hole that I've already got there. Pop that under, and then that way everything's lined up correctly. Now I also wanted to show you, let's move that out of the way, when you make mistakes. I think one of the things about crafting is being able to cover up your own mistakes. Things don't always go to plan, but sometimes the things that you end up covering up or having to change can be a bonus as well. Here I ended up changing my page around. I wanted to put this page first, so now I've got this hole, but all I'm going to do is pop, oh, it's stuck to my card there. I've got this little heart, and I'm going to stick that over the top. A bit too much glue on there. So there's always ways around things, so I've done that. The book is pretty much done. I am going to go through and add a few outlines, and I'm also going to border off my photographs, and I will also go through with embellishments and just see what I can add where, just for some last minute touches. I've got a few acrylic flat back gems, and I've got a few die cuts and things like that. I think it's the finishing touches. For example, there I kind of feel, oh, actually I've got a wooden heart there. I am going to add that there. I just like having bits and pieces on my desk, and I add them as I go through. Should we pop that as, no, I'm going to put it in the center, I think. And I like just going through the book at the end and just thinking of what I can add. So I'm going to do my little black border that I always like adding to my photos. And I might actually add, I've got some other gems here somewhere that I saw earlier on. Some creamy coloured ones. I can't think where they are. Oh, I've got some other bits and pieces here as well. No, I'm not going to add that yet. Let's add these on there. Oh, let's push that in place. It's just, I think, adding a few little final bits and pieces really makes a difference. And I really enjoy it too. It's a fun thing for me to do. So I've got 3 flat back acrylic gems. Let's go on to this page. I'm going to add my black border, or my black edge I should say, to this Radio City photograph. I am going to, nope, not adding that. There's nothing really I want to add there, I don't think. I might come back to that. No. On to the next page, another border will go there. I'm going to leave the sides, I think, a bit fiddly. Okay, kind of feel that something could go there, yeah, and I might colour that red actually. Let's do that because I think the red will tie up nicely. I have got a red, oh, that doesn't want to stick down, let's leave that there a minute. I wonder if that will stick to the acetate. I've got a red pen here somewhere. I might have to go and, oh, here it is. Thought I had one. I'm just going to colour this in. It might have been better maybe to paint it white first, but I didn't. But actually it's colouring in quite nicely. Like I said, it's all these final little last minute touches that really do make a difference to the book. And I just put a few different bits and pieces in little pots around my desk when I'm doing this, just leftovers from kits, or you know, when you've got an embellishment pack and you've got a few bits and pieces left over. Sometimes you can even forget that you've got bits and pieces, so it's a good way of going through, seeing what you've got left over and seeing what you can use up. Okay, let's add a border to this one. I have got a little die cut I might add there actually. I'll come back to that. What's on the next page? We have got this one, another border. Okay, we've got steps in Times Square. That's there. The kids are there in the background as well. I like that one. Then we've got the Statue of Liberty. I am going to go around that, like that. Oops, daisy. Okay. Let's turn that around a bit easier. And the same here, breakfast in Times Square. We were so lucky with the weather, with it being in March, being able to sit outside having breakfast in t-shirts. And another one here. I did think, I've got a photograph of the, what's it there, the viewfinder, but actually, I don't know if that's too much. No, I'm going to leave that off actually. I might keep that. I have, so I did actually take a picture with the viewfinder in it. Is that what they're called, viewfinders? I'm not sure. I'm going to keep that for that photograph, I think. So that would be a nice little addition. Then we've got the start of our road trip. Let's do that. Okay. Have we got anything else to add? Yeah, I'm going to add this little bit of glue on the back to the date. I just kind of felt it needed something extra there. And the next page, again, this page, it needs something extra. Let's add the borders to my DC photos. And I'm thinking something in the right hand corner of that one. I'm not sure what yet. I've got a heart in this one by the White House. What can I add? Haven't really got much there. I could punch out a heart. That's a possibility. I have got another arrow. I don't know, that's a bit chunky, I think. What else have I got? Awesome. I don't like the word awesome, so I'm not adding that. Springs in the air, doesn't really go with that. I am going to have a mooch in a minute because I do want to add something else there. Actually, a little camera or something would be quite nice. I'll come back to that one. Let's add the border for the road trip. That's like that. And around my dad's house in Indiana. Let's move on. I keep thinking I've got two pages. They're so chunky, these pages, with it being double layers of acetate. We've found a ghost town in Illinois. That's that day. Pictures of us in Cave in the Rock, or Aid and the kids anyway. Then a family photo when we were with my dad. We have got a photo of coffee. Aid and I love our coffee. We found a really nice little independent coffee store, the Donut Bank. It was just for local areas, and they did really good coffee and really good donuts, so we enjoyed going there. Would highly recommend if you're in that area. We did some bowling. We had Kentucky Fried Chicken in Kentucky, which made my son extremely happy. And then we've got the last photo of Dad and myself So there's just a couple more bits that I want to add, and then I would say that this book is finished. I've been busy going through and adding a few bits and pieces. I've got this acetate word fab from my most recent June Cocoa Daisy kit, so I'm going to add that on the bottom there. I like it as it's acetate, so you can actually see through. It's not actually blocking out one of the photographs, but it's just adding a little bit of colour and interest. I've used some PVA glue there, and that's nice and transparent so you can see through. So I believe this book is just about done. I'm going to go through and see if there's anything else that I want to add, and then I'll show you the finished book. I've now finished creating this mini book about our road trip, and I am going to take some close-up photographs for you to see. I'm really pleased with how this has turned out, and it's even better than I originally imagined. I'm so glad that I happened to find an extra acetate, that 12 by 12 American Crafts acetate piece. I've ended up using 2 of those, so if you did want to recreate this, you'd need 1 of those and a whole load of scrap paper and embellishments and stickers and just bits and pieces you've got lying around. And there you go. I'll take some photographs now for you. Thank you for joining me. I do have a blog post that goes with this when I originally made the first part of the book, so I will link that up, and any other bits and pieces that I think that you'll need to know to go with this. Thank you so much. Bye.